All right, so here we go on to the last phase of my scrapping process. I got all these transformers down here. Now I'm going to keep a couple of them. And for the other videos, if you're just tuning in, I've already gone through wiring, tubing, copper tubing, any other sort of copper I could come across. Electric motors, I got this entire tote here full of copper windings out of electric motors. Cast steel or cast iron, cast aluminum, regular wiring, sheet aluminum or fine aluminum. And then we got brass, a whole bucket of brass. This is the steel that's left over from mostly motors cut open. So check out those videos. This is where I've been working, and let's get after it. I'm going to start off showing you how I took care of these oil burner furnace ignition transformers. This is the furnace that it came out of, or the blower fan unit that it came out of. And right here, you can see that ignition transformer mounted to the side of one of those blowers. Now, the inside of these are very similar to the inside of a fluorescent light ballast. It's potted in this really thick, dense, epoxy-like material. Real pain in the butt to get out of there, and it's a real mess. Other videos that I've watched have the same experience with light transformers. I'm sorry, light ballasts, fluorescent light ballasts, and they're just a total mess. This air hammer made light work of it, but it's still a huge pain in the butt, and honestly, I don't think it was worth it. I did 2 of these. They were both almost identical. There was 2 different types of windings in this one, and the next one had 2 different types as well, and both of them were not really worth it. One of them, I'll be showing you here in just a minute, is like a ribbon of copper. It's like taped copper, really tiny windings, and I ended up just giving up on those. The other one was a little bit heavier copper, maybe, I don't know, 20 gauge-ish wire, and I'll show you here in a minute how I was able to get that stuff off. And it worked for most of the transformers, and I'll be talking about that later as well. Now, getting the center core, iron core out of this thing was a little bit of a chore, but it really wasn't all that bad. They pounded it out. I used a chunk of 1/2-inch pipe initially, and then used a punch to drive it the rest of the way through. So you can see how much of that epoxy crap is on the bench there, and that's just what stayed on the bench. There was a lot that went flying all over the place because of the air hammer. I tried to guard it, but it was still going absolutely everywhere. Right here is where I found that ribbon-like stuff. I tried to cut it and peel it off like tape, like a roll of tape, and it just was not coming off of there. I ended up setting all of those off to the side. Now, this is the winding that had some pretty decent copper on it, and it actually comes off pretty easy. Mount something in your vise or vertical so that you can put it, around it. I was dinking around with it like this, you see, and it's very ineffective. But yeah, mount something vertical in there, and then you can just unspool it, and it goes super, super quick. All right, so I'm pretty much at the end of what I'm going to do for transformers. This is what I have so far. I'd say it's probably around 15 pounds, ballpark. I don't know, maybe a little more, a little less. I've pretty much figured out how I like to do it now, so I'm going to share that right quick. And there are multiple ways to do this, okay? I have found that, at least on the standard size ones, like the size of a softball, they're plates that interlock back and forth like this, okay? If you see that, now watch what happens here. You got one plate, it looks like an E. See, you get one plate that overlaps that one, then this one, then this one, then this one. And then there's other little plates that go, that fill in the gap on the end. I have seen other types where there's just one E. It's like that with a top plate welded on it, and you can chisel off that part and then pull the E off. That works as well. If you can get the whole bundle off in one shot, it does work out really nice. You can actually, I think I have some footage of this. I mount just something in my vise. I slide the coil over it, and then I can just pull the wire off of it, and it usually comes off in big strips. That's a good look. There we go. That worked out pretty good. So that's preferred if you can get the coil off in whole. The quickest way I've found for these E style, plate on top of plate, is just to chisel off. Now you could do it with a grinder, but my little chisel thing, I repaired this the other day. But this dude right here, this is just basically a lawnmower blade sharpened to a point a little bit. This on an air hammer zips right through one side of the coil, and then you can peel that off and pull the rest of it out. Now the only downside of that is that now you have sheets of this, and you've got to individually pull the coil or the wire out of the coils. I try to go, it's like this side would be harder to pull back through because it's got all the junk hanging out. So I'm gonna chisel this side and then pull it out from that side. So flat side against the core, start at a corner and just work your way right across. That's it, that's the whole thing. Now I take a little chisel and a hammer, and I go in the back side of the coil, break it loose, and start pulling it through. And once you can get some sort of pry bar in there, and actually, I forgot, opening up this side with whatever tool you got, just kind of pry it open a little bit, helps. There we go. So it is moving. All right, as I get a bigger and bigger spot, I grab bigger and bigger pry bars, because like right now I can't really do any more prying there, but it is coming out. Or just get something to pry against. It coming out. Now we basically got one side out. And sometimes I have found that I actually have to just pull some strands out of the middle or wherever they'll come out of to loosen up this bundle just enough. So you can grab just some channel locks. Grab just like 3 or 4, twist it over. And that one's breaking. Now we'll try to get a couple out of here. Fortunately, this one doesn't have the sheets and sheets. It's just windings or wires, which is really nice. That one looked like it came all the way through. Once you get a little bit of space, see, they're already starting to just come out. It doesn't take much space to get it going. Once you start getting bigger wads out like that, it'll really start moving. It might almost come out entirely right now, but I'm gonna do one more small chunk first. Now it'll probably come out as a chunk. Yep. Okay, so that's that one. And this is the part that kind of sucks because you got to get all this, at least I have been. Again, this is going to be completely dependent on your scrapyard. Like this entire backside is taped up, so what I started doing is just getting off as much as I can here easily. I take a pick of some sort. Okay. And then usually once I get down to like the last couple strands where, you know, you're talking another minute's worth of time, I just take what's left and toss it in with my insulated stuff. Let's see, I got here. Once some of the bigger side starts going, it comes out real quick. Now the rest of this I can probably pull out in one shot. There we go. There's them E plates. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. Got pretty lucky with this one. There's not much tape on here. I pulled it. This is where we got, again, this is thicker wire, so it comes off this tape backing a little bit easier usually. I found giving it a little twist helps break them loose. Now I clean this out and then toss it in the steel scrap. So there we have it. I don't know, probably 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, 1 3/4, 1.8. So not even $6 worth, you know, for 15-20 minutes. I'd have to check the video. All right, so that's how 2 saw acres scraps out and cleans up for springtime. If you got any questions, comments, or suggestions, throw that down in the comment section below. Keep yanking on them bootstraps. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next video.